What is going on, IK Familia? It is your boy BN, aka Mr. Kingdom Builder, and today we are back again giving you some more high quality HD IK goodness. Yes, I feel solid about it. Outside of that, before we do get started, as always, we're going to be talking about a couple things today, which is going to be 136. We'll give you an update there. We're going to be talking about, finally, me continuing the educational series brought to you by myself, BN, and go over kind of the topics and how you can sign up, when it's going to be, and what we're going to talk about, and hoping I'll kind of be able to get back into this routine now, since I just have a bunch of more free time, which is nice when you're not, putting all of your effort, time, and energy into managing a kingdom/server. It helps when you are able to kind of free up some of your time as far as getting into other projects. All right. As always, make sure you guys sub, like, ring the notification bell, and of course, if you want to join and be a part of our conversation, you can hit up our Discord, which you'll find in the pinned comment and description down below. Okay. First thing first is we're going to talk about S136 and how is it going. Okay, so for some that may or may not know, at the moment in 136, right, you have, right, the two stages where it's, they're going to calculate how many cities each of the alliances grab up until all of the level 6 cities have been captured. And then, in addition to that, they're going to do the second stage, right, which is going to be when they set it up after all of the level 9 cities have been captured. And so this will be able to give you a little bit of a inside scoop on kind of how those things are doing and where the rankings are. So let me, if I can, briefly start out by showing you guys this page, which will just give you a little bit of an insight on kind of how things are going. And I don't know if for any of you that have checked out this leaderboard page, it actually is pretty cool, but we're going to show this now. So here is where you can go to look at. And we showed this before. I think you can also find a link to this on the official Facebook. But you'll see here, Revival of Cities tells you the time, the server number, and then you can see the stage information here, right? Once all level 6 cities, and these are default levels, have been occupied, right? Stage 1 will end, Stage 2 starts after that, and then once all level 9 cities have been captured. But you can see here, for the attack point rankings, right? So you got this guy named Lord here, but one of the cool things is that you're able to see, and this is interesting because you can't really see, like, if you're looking at the ranking boards, right? And for example, you can see within your alliance, for example, if you were to go inside, and I'll show you real quick what I'm talking about. So if we go back and we take a look at your rankings within an alliance, you can see, for example, things like wall destruction, right? You can see garrisons defeated, lords defeated. I actually would love if they put an actual ranking here that says like number of dead, right? Or something like that, number of dead. As far as like for how much attack you do on a regular basis, even for like the KVKs, right? And again, I haven't seen if they have added anything new to the leaderboards yet, but doing things like that kind of promote the individual prowess, if you will, right? The individual player recognition more so. But anyways, let's go back. We're going to show you the remaining here. So you have attack point rankings at the moment. It's Lord as 1. You got Max as 2. Clash Bashing. Shout out to CB, the boy, here, and ranked number 3 for attack point rankings, right, at, God, how much is this real quick? It's 300,000. So he's at 616 million. Okay, got it. So we're at million points here. Let's see who else is at the top that I recognize. Goosty, what's up? Wick, my boy WG, coming in. Bad boy Korean. Oh, cool. I can actually go down the list, too. Oh, I wonder how far this goes. Omni, coming in strong there. What's up? Nice. Rank 25. Oh, God, let's see if there's anyone else I might know. Maybe not so. I feel like your name is familiar to me. Vostro, maybe. I wonder how far does this go? Okay, oh, I see. Okay, so it only goes to top 100. Okay, so top 100. But, okay, cool. So attack points, we got construction points. Okay, let's look at who's doing construction, right? So construction is, you're leveling up the city, and that's what we're going with there for how much of that Let me see. City upgrading we're the 60. Okay, 63,000 points is the most that we're seeing. Who's ranked here for doing a lot? Anyone here that I know? Okay, so Bad Boy looks like. Whew. Number 2. I'm counting, don't worry. Okay, let's see. Okay, so it looks like about 19,000 is the threshold there, right? And it's okay, I don't want to type my name in. It's probably not going to find out anything anyways. Okay, so we got the stage 2 rewards that are going to happen first, and then, they might have updated this because they were showing other things before a little farther down. Oh, no, it wasn't. We just ended up clicking on the different things. Okay, so, right, remember, the attack points are factored based on wall durability and then garrisons that you're attacking. And the construction is after you get control of it, right? How much are you actually upgrading? So again, really cool to see that Clash is making a big push here for number 3, right? And if he stays on pace for the attack rewards for stage 1, right, he'll be getting 8k gems, 16 of the superior chest, a bunch of raffle tickets. Yeah, wow, okay. So it's going good. All right. So let's go back and just take a look at the map and see how things are developing overall. So we're going to take a look real quick, and we'll show you. All right, so again, it's not actually that bad. Blue looks like they have the majority control. Red, kind of, I don't know. I might actually give it to green here for 2. These are just coming out strong today. And then we got red for 3. As far as what it looks like for majority, let's look at faction power and see how that is showing us right now. Okay, so we got blue, top, green, and then red. Yeah, okay, so this looks pretty much like what we were seeing. Red doesn't have too much. Blue's there. Okay, let's look at alliance power. How are we doing there? So, decent with it showing 1 green, 1 blue, 1 red, and then we got green, red, blue. So again, right, not somewhat as ideal, but it's still early on, right? Again, the server hasn't been open for too long. Let me see here, 136, yeah, right, not even 2, we're almost 2 weeks in for 136. So let's look at some of the alliance levels. Okay, so we're looking at a bunch of 4s right now. I'm sure we'll probably be hitting 5 soon. About 16 that are 4. Let's look at strongest troop power. Ooh! 13 days in, we're at 123. What are we rocking for numero uno here? Okay, so solid earth. Earth. Ooh, we just clicked on that person's name. Okay, wow, so a lot of earth. Wow. They're just like, well, what is going to counter water? Ooh, a little Ramses edition there. Okay, nice. And, I just clicked on that, didn't I? Earth and, okay. Interesting to see the mix here being tested. Not sure if accidental or just kind of filling in based on what we have. Wow, okay, so a lot of earth. 1 kind of pure water, 1/2 high water, so like 1.5 to 8.5. All right, let's look at Lord power. Oh, wow, someone is getting close to 1 mil. Already 13 days in. That is intense. Okay, let's look at Lord Honor. Let's see how much attacking is going on here. Wow. Okay. So doing a lot of player attacks. Now we can see Ark is enjoying and getting it in hard there. A bunch of green, some blue. Red's there. Oh, nice, dude. Skull's putting some work there for my W. Definite shout out. CB to King Kitty doing some work right now in the fights. Owner loving it. Okay, cool. Very nice, very nice. Let's look at castle levels. Oh my gosh, someone is getting close to T5. Wow, you got 3 people that are arguably already T4. And then these top 2 here that are making big pushes are already at 37. Wow, okay. So it's moving along. It is definitely moving along in 136. Let's take a look at chats. Let's see how chat's going. Look at Choco. She's asking to be messaged. See chat, still many vaccine vacancies. See if there's any drama in world chat. Dude, there it is. Channel number 1. There it is. I was so shocked. I didn't see this earlier. It's because Besides, China rate 2 in faction power. Every members will get 3,900 tomorrow. 3,900. Oh, he's probably talking about the Supreme Alliance, possibly? Let's see here. Yeah, because those probably haven't ended, right? Yeah. So, yeah, City Siege ends first. So, yeah, and faction power is going to pay out 300. Right? So, if you have 350 faction power or more, it looks like by reset. And then we can see here, right, you got 3 alliances right now that are over 350. So, all their players are going to get a bunch. It looks like they're using that to try and take on the Westerners, right? Just joking. Who knows? It's like dangling some nice fish. Man, I don't want to convert all this. That's a lot. Anyways, okay. So I think that's pretty good so far as for what we've covered at the moment when it comes to kind of how 136 is doing. My kind of closing thoughts here is that once again, right, everything is pretty standard, right? We weren't necessarily expecting any kind of blowout from any of the non-Japanese alliances that were players coming in. Promise I got some good sleep last night. For many of the kind of non-Japanese players that were coming in, and for those alliances that were formed, very similar to what we ended up seeing on 97, where we ended up having some more international players that were coming in for their regions, for the game finally being introduced there. And this is all pretty standard, right? I mean, you can even just tell based on the leaderboards, based on the amount that people are spending, right? Even though IW, for the most part, right, is kind of like the top. I don't know if I even want to say like savior, so to speak, because you can see here from all of these, right? Language is all preferred, right? The only other one here would be Arc, right, with Saga. But even that, I mean, they're so close in power right now. It's just, as far as for them between IW, you don't really have anyone, even if you just look at troop powers, right? The only person that probably is somewhat competing to an extent is probably Lord there from Arknights, and he's close right here with the top. However, it just might not be that sustainable when you look at where else. Like, again, look at the drop, right? It's 16k difference from 3 to 4, and then you got 16k difference from 5 to 6. And then it just is kind of, fluctuating here. But even if you look at the next strongest person for Arc, right, you're looking at Bad Boy at 66, you still have plenty of people that are just way above that in the other alliances. So, again, definitely an uphill battle, but I kind of just view these servers as, it's fun to kind of test the events and see how these types of regional introductory events are going to go. I think it's more enjoyable for the new region that's joining rather than it is for the players that have already been here for a while, right? Because even if you look at, for example, these alliances, maybe with the exception of Saga, I'm not familiar with that name or that person as far as for where I've talked or met them. But even if you just look at IW, right, this was started from, like Wick and Omni, and then, you end up having Clash Bashing here and them, and I joined for a little bit, made an alliance. But for the most part, right, you're looking at these players like us, at least for those that are doing this, right, as more kind of restarts. So, you're not usually going to be as heavily invested into a new server as you would if you're just a brand new player, right, coming in. And so that's why, even though the events are fun, I think the events are really a lot more enjoyable for the new players, the new regions that are joining, right? Not necessarily the people that have been here for a while if they're doing restarts coming in. But I still love the idea that they do with with kind of doing these new region introduction competitions. I think that's very unique, and I think that is definitely an attractive feature that I haven't really seen in a lot of other Kingdom Builders. So for that much, I do like it. But again, it's kind of destined to go the way that it is right now. You're probably going to end up having, one of these top 3 alliances just based on how they look at the moment, right? Having the highest chance of having that play out for them getting the most going into stage 1 and probably most likely into stage 2. With that being said, the very last thing I'm going to touch on is going to be I know I mentioned this earlier in the beginning, of the video, but we're going to touch on the kind of educational series that I'm bringing back. We're working with the IK team on these. I know we did a bunch of these before when the game was initially released. We went on for maybe did like 13 or 14 weeks, almost all of those being in a row, back to back. But after I started doing a lot of investment into my last project on 79, it just took it took a lot of time there away from me wanting to try and get into other things, and so it was a lot of kind of playing catch up. But now with a little bit more free time, right, I'm gonna try and start these back up, and the next one is actually going to be happening tomorrow on Tuesday, February 8th, here at 17 UTC in-game / 12 p.m. Eastern time. And if you're interested in checking this out, right, it's going to be, a great episode on we're going to touch on the different managing styles and kingdoms and how they affect every player. One of the things that I think is very interesting here is that most of these systems are actually already in place without you as the player even knowing about it, that they are. And so it's going to be a really great opportunity to, one, kind of go over how different managing styles and systems can be implemented into kingdoms. What are the pros and cons of those? And then we'll also, as we always do, have a really cool open floor community feedback, right? And that's kind of where we'll do Q&A. So if anyone has any questions, right, they can ask those. If people want to provide their experiences on systems they've been a part of and maybe talk about what they think works and what doesn't work, right, kind of the hurdles, the obstacles to overcome, maybe what their pro and con experiences have been within those systems, right? It'll be a great opportunity to share those. So again, I'm actually shocked too as well, because I know they ended up doing an event for this that Vita did. So shout out to Vita and the IK team, right, for always being so supportive of kind of allowing a platform for me to speak on these things. But again, we got 45 people that are already showing interest, which I think is probably the most so far that have shown like the public interest. But again, if you are looking to tune in, you find yourself with time, again, I'll have a link to this post in the description and the pinned comment for this video. I'll also be doing an announcement on my Discord as well. But if you're going to be around and you want to tune in, even if you can just listen, or even if you're only able to listen in, then, please feel free. We'd be happy to see you there tomorrow. And with that, that's it for me. Last thing I'll say, though, is if you are interested, or not even necessarily if interested, but if you're someone who's playing in 136, right, based on what I've given as my thoughts on how I see things playing out and kind of what has happened so far, let me know, are you seeing the same thing? Do you kind of think that, the events are great, right, but maybe it is just more so for the new region that's coming in, as the trend has been so far that we've been seeing is that they're always going to have the highest chance or the advantage coming in as new players, just like we saw in 97, right, where Boss Baby and friends ended up kind of winning that as a little bit kind of a no-brainer for how that ended up trending on early and then carried throughout the end of that kind of COR event that they did there. I would love to know your thoughts. Let me know in those comments down below. And that's it for me. Until next time, as always, we'll catch y'all later.